Hi everyone. Well, I'm back after Easter. It was a good Easter. I think all of you had a nice Easter. I got to see you all on from FaceTime. So I want to start again with our books, but I'm going to start with a chapter book because people have been asking me for chapter books. So I picked out a funny one first, and then I have another good one after this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read about 2 or 3 chapters and then stop, and then record another 2 or 3 chapters. So you could either stop it and read a couple of chapters a day with me, or you can read them all in one day. It's all up to you. Okay, here we go. It's called Trouble at Table 5. Trouble at Table 5. Busted by Breakfast. It's by Tom Watson. Now you realize with a chapter book, there's not going to be a lot of pictures. If there is one, I'll show you one. Here we go. Chapter 1. Soggy Crunch. Soggy Crunch. There are times when Simon cannot be quiet. He has to talk. And there's no way he can stop until he's done telling us everything. That's what happened yesterday in Mr. Willow's class at Table 5. Simon got to school later than us because Rosie and I rode bikes and he walked. Simon broke his bike. He rode it on the rock trail at Picasso Park, but it isn't the kind of bike that's made for that. It has thin tires for streets and sidewalks, not thick tires with bumps on them for trails and stuff. So the bike got all busted up. It has 2 flat tires and the wheel rims are bent. "Molly, Rosie," Simon called to us when he hurried into the room. He was excited about something. I could tell. Rosie could tell too. He kicked his backpack under the table and sat down. "Did you guys know what Cocoa Puffs are?" "Well, I didn't know what they were until today," Simon said. "They're little brown ball-shaped sugary dynamos of chocolatey goodness. The great thing about Cocoa Puffs is the whole eating process." Cocoa Puffs. I know Cocoa Puffs. "It's like 3 scrumptious chocolate discoveries in one." We just stared at him. He was pretty excited. He couldn't wait to tell us more. And the more he spoke, the faster his words came out. The first several mouthfuls of Cocoa Puffs start out super crunchy. The first burst of chocolate flavor is like, crunch, bam, wake up. It's chocolate time. That's the first discovery. But then about halfway through the bowl, all the Cocoa Puff balls have absorbed some milk and they started to lose their crunchiness. And you know, that's kind of a bummer because who wants to eat soggy stuff? Simon stopped to lick his lips and then continued. "And here's what you think. Oh no, my delightful chocolate dream has turned into a terrible chocolate nightmare. Instead of crunchy Cocoa Puffs, I got half a bowl of soggy, mushy Cocoa Puffs." He was talking even faster now. "The disappointment starts to wash over you. Maybe it's time to dump them into the sink, but that'd be wasteful. So you take a few more bites and wham, you make the second chocolate discovery." When Simon inhaled, Rosie cut him in and said, "What's the second discovery?" "The chocolate balls look and feel soggy, but they're still crunchy and sugary inside," Simon explained. He was louder now. Some of our classmates stared back at our table. "I mean, what? Are you kidding me? Can you even be serious? My chocolate nightmare is a crunchy chocolate dream again. That's impossible." But it's not. Uh-oh, the other kids are hearing him at the tables. What's he talking about? He's so excited about his Cocoa Puffs. His voice was really loud now. "You feel and taste the evidence each time you chew." Simon almost yelled, "Soggy crunch, soggy crunch, soggy, soggy, crunch, crunch." The bell rang. The school day started. But Simon wasn't finished yet. Chapter 2. Mr. Willow's Footprints. "It's surprising. It's amazing. You finished the second half of that bowl even faster than the first," Simon said as the rest of the class sat down and got quiet. He didn't even notice. And then, oh no, the nightmare's back. The chocolate balls are gone. You ate them too fast. There's nothing left. You didn't savor the flavor. All you have now is the fading memory of chocolatey scrumptiousness. Then you... Simon, the bell, I tried to interrupt, but he didn't pay attention. He had to keep going. Then you make the third amazing discovery. The whole room is quiet now, except for Simon. And Mr. Willow's footstep. Simon, here comes Rosie. Simon, here comes, Rosie said, trying to stop him. It didn't work. You didn't even notice. Simon continued, even louder. It's the milk! Mr. Willow stood behind Simon. Simon didn't know he was there. It's brown, Simon yelled. The milk turns brown. Here comes Mr. Wilson. He sort of stood up halfway and leaned toward Rosie and me with his hands on the table. Beautiful chocolatey brown. You sip and slurp and swallow every last drop of that liquid chocolate treasure. Simon sat down. He exhaled. He whispered, and that is the Cocoa Puff breakfast experience. Some of the kids in the class applauded. Mr. Willow did not. He put a hand on Simon's shoulder. Come see me at my desk after I take attendance, he said. That happened Friday. On Saturday, Rosie and I headed to Simon's house. End of chapter 2.